Stephen Pressfield calls it resistance. A lot of religious traditions just call it sin or the problem of sin. But regardless of the name folks apply to it, it seems to me that we generally share, cross-culturally and throughout history, a sense and a lament that things don't work out perfectly, that things fall apart, and that plans don't always go in order. In that light, part of what that means in my personal history is that planning for success means planning for, or at least being prepared for, things not going well. Now, before you think that I'm preaching a message of it is what it is, which would be counter to the heart of my most recent book effort, I promise you that's not what I'm doing. Instead, I'd suggest that the anticipation of obstacles and missteps sets me up to see those moments differently, that even my missteps and failed attempts can be elements of a healthy creative process. What do I do with the moment when the moment goes wrong? This week, gymnastics legend Simone Biles pulled out of events in the Olympics, setting off a series of reflections and discussions, including this one, about mental health and sports ethics, performance patterns, rising to the challenge, and public responsibility. There are moments when the best of us, and the best in us or about us, just isn't available for our greatest opportunities. Things don't always work out optimally in optimal situations. In my reading, it's not what Simone Biles was up against, internally or externally. It's what she did with that moment, both professionally and publicly, that makes the moment that it is. She chose her health over performance, and then she told the world. In so doing, I'd suggest she just might have moved the goalpost regarding what greatness can look like for a legendary athlete. In 2020, the American Medical Society for Sports Medicine published a short study about the detection, treatment, and prevention of mental health issues in competitive athletes. Along with more recognizable factors in terms like perfectionism, the study delves into what is known as athlete identity, which is the degree to which someone views themselves within the athletic role and looks to others for confirmation of that role. In short, an unhealthy dependence on an individual's success in one area of life comes at the cost of overall health. And we hear that put really simply by athletes like Simone Biles when she says, just hours after pulling herself from competition in the Olympics, there's more to life than athletics. Or the way, in response to Simone Biles' story, we hear Michael Phelps, a legend in his own right and his own time, say, "We are human beings. Nobody is perfect. It's okay to not be okay." See, what if it's harder to be whole and healthy as a human being than it is to be great at any particular thing? What if Simone Biles actually took a step towards whole human goodness and greatness by removing herself from the metrics that confirm her greatness as an athlete, and as an athlete primarily, if not exclusively? In 2009, David Bazan released one of my favorite songs entitled Hard to Be. A somewhat tongue-in-cheek examination of the biblical notion of sin, David walks through some of the odder explanations and justifications for the fact that life is hard, that things fall apart, and that people get hurt. And then he daftly returns in the chorus to the very simple, fundamental truth that it's hard to be a decent human being. Yes, it is. And let that simple truth make us fans of one another. That just as we pause to celebrate Simone Biles' remarkable and unparalleled talent, we'd pause to cheer on our neighbors and roommates as they pursue wholeness and health and the full life God desires for beloved ones around us and near us. See, as difficult as it might be to achieve the kinds of things that make one an Olympic champion in a particular season of life, it just might be harder to live well, to live healthily, and to live wholly over the course of a lifetime.